forgot about that.
In 2007, my friends and I decided to put everything we had into making our second record something special. It took 2.5 years of work, but together, we made the best art we've ever created. It pushed us to the brink, and right after putting it out, we split up. This is the story of a record no one's heard. This is the story of Mana.
I'm sorry. Are you in 24? The brains?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want some Irish whiskey or some...
Dude, just surprise me. We're fine.
You got it.
Okay.
Some vodka flavored whiskey. Oh, am I in the shot?
Only want to go all the way over to there, so
I'll do that.
as long as you stay there, you're good.
Okay, so here we go. I remember when I was a kid, taking all my parents' tapes that they never listened to anymore, especially like my mom's because she passed away. I would like stuff them with foil on the top of them, like cassette tapes, and then I would put them into a boom box, and I would wait for a song on one of 3 stations. It was V-Rock, which was 88.9, and then it was WMMS, and then it was 107.9. I would wait for like a new grunge song to come along, and I would hit the 2 buttons, which was like, I think, play and record at the time. And I would make these like long mixes throughout entire tapes that probably were like Hall & Oates or some shit like that. But I remember doing that and always wanting to be in bands. So it was like normal for me to jump at the opportunity to try and do it when I was in high school.
Music in my childhood was largely waking up on weekends when I was a young little tyke to my dad cleaning the house. 8, 9, early as, you know, when you're a kid it's all early, but he would also compensate for the vacuum noise by playing Motown records and like Diana Ross and Michael Jackson. So got kind of acclimated to those just as a way to wake up on the weekends, and I think a lot of that kind of bled through into just growing up and having an appreciation for music and a deep hatred for vacuums.
I think it was my mom used to listen to Stone Temple Pilots, and she introduced me to like Soundgarden and whatnot, and then, you know, that started the rabbit hole of the grunge thing and then the alternative, and then it was actually 9 Inch Nails that got me into the metal thing, and then ever since then I've just been looking for the hardest thing I could find.
We got recorders. That was kind of my first intro to music, and I was like, this is really cool, I want to make more sounds. So I made a rubber band guitar, and I remember putting on a concert for my parents. They probably blocked it out.
Well, it started with this band called the Knee Highs.
I guess it'd be the Knee Highs.
When I was in Central Elementary School, and it was Derek beating on pots and pans.
Only had 3 rehearsals, it didn't really work out. Also with our middle school schedule, it was just real tough to get time in.
I pretended to be a singer, I think. and I sang into a fake golf club. That was my first attempt at ever making music. It was horrifically bad.
Variable 57. That was, oh God. I don't know how to describe that mess. I'm sorry.
Early band, Three-Way Reflex. I'll pay somebody $20 if they can find that demo.
I knew Desco from work, and that's how I got to know him better as a drummer. We had actually played a gig together. I was in a different band, and he was in Farsight at the time.
First band ever was a band called Farsight, playing with childhood friends, Ben Hendricks, Brendan Davis, and David Collier.
And I just remember him telling me how awful my band was. And I was like, we try. I like our band, but you guys are pretty good.
And then a few of us eventually graduated and formed a college band, Drop to Zero.
The first 3 years of this band were about building something. 2 weeks after I joined and we started late night rehearsals and writing sessions in our little storage unit practice space, we were already booking shows. Half our songs were covers. The only people that watched were friends and girlfriends. We made friends with other wandering bands. With these like-minded gypsies, we lived the up-all-night debauchery after-party experience. We lost members and gained members. We found that the songs we had that were simple and angry and heavy got people's attention more. When we got some of those songs on the local radio...
Hello. The day is November 17th, 2006. The time, 3:43 in the p.m. Me and Connor are driving to the studio to talk on the radio.
And that was Social by Drop to Zero.
We are playing our CD release show tonight in Kent, Ohio at the Robin Hood Bar and Grill.
We'd found the last gasp of nu metal enthusiasm, and people were singing these songs back at us and bouncing up and down. We got enough recorded songs together to release our first album, Silence of All, in the fall of '06. It was our radio-friendly, moshing at midnight, angst-filled party record. But while we were having fun, we get pushed back to the earlier sets and shows. Less people are there for us. More interesting bands are taking our place. We're not getting invited to out-of-town gigs to trade with other bands as much. It began to feel like maybe we'd fallen a few steps behind. Then Amplexus released Deus Ex Machina, and they blew the fucking doors off our scene. They were our closest of friends, and we'd watch them dedicate themselves entirely to creating that record throughout that year. And when it came out, people connected emotionally to the sound, the storytelling, and the heartfelt message that this was 6 guys invested in sharing a vision for their art. To this day, it's one of our absolute favorite albums, made by anyone. So we decided collectively that if we were going to keep doing this and grow alongside our peers, it was time to take our passion for screaming and noise into the basement and turn it into art. Put simply, we were going to put our noses to the grindstone to make a great fucking record.